Anybody young out there listening, you know, love your life. Find the things that you can enjoy. Be curious. You don't have to have all the answers. Everybody has something that they're really, really, really good at. That could be world-class great. Every single human being on this planet. And the hard part is just finding what that is. And in some places having resources to enable it. But be curious so you can find what it is. Enjoy your life. Find things to smile about. You know, expose yourself to as many different ideas as you can, because something's going to click at some point. You may be 15, you may be 25, you may be 55, but it can happen.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but your ability to create the reality that you want is directly determined by your willingness to experience its opposite. Saving money will have you feeling broke, while it's actually making you rich. Setting boundaries will have you feeling alone, while you're creating new healthy relationships in your life. Digging up your trauma will have you feeling broken, while it's actually healing you. Working out has you feeling weak, while it's really making you strong. Learning something new makes you feel dumb, while it's making you more intelligent. Your ability to attain the thing that you want is directly correlated with how willing you are to experience its opposite. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable to truly achieve success. You got this.
The universe takes care of you. Yes. In magnificent ways. It takes care of you when you put the effort in. It takes care of you when you take care of other people. That's when you see the love of God.
Most people do not want to hear this, but a real lasting relationship requires a lot of tolerance. You have to accept that the other person is not perfect. Disappointments, pains, and irritations are inevitable. The real question is whether you are ready to face the ups and downs together. Because that's it. Loving is recognizing that the other person has flaws, weaknesses, moments of doubt, just like you. Loving is embracing their imperfections, seeing beyond the arguments, misunderstandings, and mistakes. Realizing that perfection does not exist in relationships. But there is beauty in the efforts to stay united. It's about learning to forgive, communicate, and grow together. Loving is a choice.
You're gonna be okay, honey. You're gonna be okay. And I know that because every other time that life has hit you, you have got back up again. Every time that you felt like you're falling, no matter how hard it was, you got back up. And that doesn't mean that it's easy. In fact, it's quite the opposite, and you should have never had to be going through this in the first place, and for that I'm sorry. And I will say, you are so much stronger than you think that you are. You've got through 100% of your hardest days. You can do it again. So I'm just here to remind you, you're brave, you're wonderful. This world is so much better with you in it. You're enough. Just the way that you are right now, you're enough. You're enough. In this world, so much better with you in it. One day at a time. That's all it is. One day at a time. You've got this, capiche?
You can't heal in the place you get hurt. One of the most difficult experiences in life is that unless you break the cycle, unless you remove yourself from a situation or environment where you have been hurt, you will most likely continue to be hurt. And turning the page is extremely difficult because it implies understanding and accepting that letting go of someone means that while they may have been a part of your history, they do not have to be a part of your destiny.
Don't underestimate the hole your absence would leave. You know, each of us, we're remarkable creatures, and we have something to offer to the world, to our people we love, to the world at large. It's our responsibility to make that manifest, and we move a little farther away from paradise every time that doesn't happen. Really, really.
You change people. Your name makes others smile. Your work moves people. Someone might compliment you somewhere right now. Someone's heart will beat faster just thinking about you. Your friends remember your experiences fondly. Someone might see a book in the store and think of you too. You inspire others to keep going, or you will someday. Your presence matters and changes the world every day.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything. Your highs, your lows, your happiest moments and the most painful ones, your failures and your successes, your losses and your gains. Just remember, people can't come in and out of your life for no reason. The lessons you learn and the growth that you experience is never spontaneous. It's always meant to be. There's a higher purpose, a goal, a final destination or a peak in your journey that you will have no idea of until you reach it. But for that, you need to climb the mountain. For that, you need to look for a deeper meaning. For that, you need to pay attention to everything and everyone around you, especially those that love you and leave you.
The fastest way to know if something will work for you is to try it. Learn to proceed without certainty. Life doesn't come with a trial period or a money-back guarantee. There's no GPS for your journey, no step-by-step guide to becoming who you're meant to be. Every day, you're writing a story without knowing the ending. You can spend years theorizing, planning, and preparing, but until you take that first step, it's all just speculation. As Søren Kierkegaard said, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. You can't wait for certainty to start living, because by the time you're certain, the moment has passed. Certainty is an illusion. Even the surest things in life can change in an instant. Proceed without certainty. Let go of the need to know everything.
Until you make a decision that you no longer want to feel how you feel, or you no longer want to think the way that you think, or you no longer want to have the kind of results or no results that you have, until you make that decision that, you know what? I know I don't feel great. I know I doubt myself. I know I've had a lot of bad things happen. I know there's a lot that I regret, but damn it, with the time that I have left in my life, I really want to start to enjoy myself. I want to take better care of myself. I want to feel happy. You don't even have to believe you deserve it yet. You can just want it. You've got to start there. You've got to start with wanting something better for yourself. And then I personally think the most important thing is to start acting like the person who has the things that you want right now, even though you don't feel like it.
In case you needed a reminder, the right person will know how to hold your love. The right person will choose you just as deeply as you choose them. You will not have to quiet the way you care. You will never feel like you are too much. You will not have to beg for the love you deserve. One day, you will be met where you are. One day, you will be someone's favorite thing, and you will not be confused. You will not feel like you are fighting for someone who isn't fighting for you. One day, you will understand that it never mattered how tightly you held on to the wrong people, how intensely you tried, because the right people were always going to find you. The right people were always going to stay.
I think you need to hear this. Please remember you are human. Put your philosophies aside for a minute and just listen. Don't demonize your emotions. Sadness, anger, and all the painful emotions that come along with being human make you human. You shouldn't feel guilty for feeling these things. The goal isn't to never feel them. It's simply to learn how to react when they appear. Never belittle someone who isn't on the same path. Nobody has an obligation to believe what you believe or act how you act. You are not better than them just because you're on this journey. Self-improvement does not have an endpoint. If you are on this path and expect to one day be the perfect person, I will tell you now that day is not coming. You are human. You were never meant to be perfect, just better.
Almost when you least expect it, things fall into place. You realize that what was left behind was making space for what was about to arrive. The quiet let you hear the guidance. The unhappiness forced you to make a move. The unsettledness made you keep seeking. The end ushered in a new beginning. The doors that closed turned you toward the ones that were opening. The lessons were always leading you. Every time you got it wrong, you were one step closer to having it right. I hope you allow your life to be bigger than you ever thought it could be. I hope you allow yourself to embody more beauty than you ever thought possible. I hope you don't get trapped by the small stories, the little ideas you had about what the future may be. I hope you don't long for the things you've outgrown just because they're familiar. I hope you don't consider everything you lose to be a loss. I hope you don't define yourself only by the limits of what you've known. I hope you do not cap your potential at what others have said is possible. Most of all, I hope you recognize the light when it hits you.
You do not seek someone else's attention. You sit there and make it right, because that is your person. If you can easily go to someone else, you don't love the person. Love is nothing without action. Trust is nothing without proof. Sorry is nothing without change. Maturing is realizing you don't want to be around drama, stress, or conflict anymore. You start choosing calm over chaos and distance over disrespect. You start prioritizing your peace, mental health, and happiness over everything. At the end of the day, you are a good person. You are not perfect by any means, but your intentions are good, your heart is pure, and you love with everything you have. And because of those things, you are worth it. You always have been, and you always will be. Remember to be patient with yourself and your journey. Surround yourself with people who appreciate your value, and continue striving to be the best version of yourself.
Don't think of the relationship as over. Think of it as complete. That was fucking pretty powerful.
Wow, that's a great one.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you're like,
That's a
oh, that's
good
over,
one.
but it's like, no, it's run its course. It's completed.
Yes.
So-
Fuck. I'm thinking of 4 or 5 different, like, not just girls, like guys, mates, whatever.
Yeah.
That
Friendships.
has complete.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
When you're angry, stay silent. Don't waste your time with explanations. Sometimes silence is the best way to cope with your emotions. People only hear what they want to hear. Accept criticism, but never accept disrespect. The best way to respect yourself is to discipline yourself. Persevere, and never give up on something that you truly believe. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. Don't let success go to your head. Don't let failure go to your heart. If you are a giver, remember to know and learn your limits, because the takers don't have any. Remember, it's better to cry than to be angry, because anger hurts others, while tears flow silently through the soul and clean our hearts, giving us a fresh reset.
Soulmates do exist. It took me a while to believe that, but now I know it's true. The reality is you don't get to choose who you fall in love with, and you don't get to choose who falls in love with you. It's this uncontrollable force that just happens, and when it does, it changes everything. You know they're your person when you can be tired together or bored together, but every moment is still full of the energy that's good for your soul. It's in those quiet moments, when nothing much is happening, that you realize how deeply connected you are. You look at each other and there's a comfort, a peace, that you can't find anywhere else. And when you never want them to stop talking because hearing them makes the world not so quiet anymore, that's when you know. They take care of your heart and everything about you that no one else would care to know. They see the parts of you that you try to hide, and they love you even more for them. There's not a single love that is perfect, but there are hundreds that are real. It's messy and beautiful and worth every single second. This is what love is. This is what it means to find your soulmate.
Somewhere down the line, we're all going to get dealt a dysfunctional card in life, just by situations. And the earlier you get dealt a dysfunctional card in life, the fucking better, because it gives you a much stronger hand when you come to play it. Never fear a storm. Learn to dance in the rain.
The more you grow up, the more you realize that none of us are easy to be with. We all suffer from something. We're all carrying something: anxiety, past traumas, insecurities, fears. The journey of becoming, it's messy, it's complicated, it's human. It's not about finding someone without baggage. That person doesn't exist. It's about finding someone who's willing to unpack alongside you. Real love, real friendship, real connection is not about being easy to be with. It's about choosing each other, flaws and all, every single day. It's about creating a safe space where both of you can be unapologetically human. We're all works in progress. We're all a little hard to be with sometimes, and that's okay. We are not unified by perfection. We are unified by our shared imperfections, our shared struggles, and our shared humanity. Understand that the cracks in our armor don't make us weak. They make us real, and real is where true connection begins. Pause for a moment and let this sink in. Just existing is enough on some days. Have you ever woken up and felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, when even the simplest tasks seem monumental? We live in a world that glorifies hustle, that values productivity as a way to measure worth. But here's a radical thought. Sometimes, just being here is your greatest achievement. Your body is fighting battles you can't see. Your mind is processing complexities you can't fathom. Your heart is healing wounds that aren't visible. On those days when getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain, when showering is your biggest accomplishment, remember, you're doing okay. You're human, not a machine. You're allowed to have off days, to take breaks, to simply exist without justification. You're breathing. You're here. And sometimes that's more than enough.
It's the best advice you can give a young man so he can be good, have a successful life. He said, you got to remember, in every person you meet, there's a little piece of God in them, and that's who you talk to. And I added to that, but make sure they see it in you first. Wow. So that's what my life principle is about. Make way for life. Please make way for life. Find the peace of God in you and show it.